already got that held down.
So I cannot be the star that
That looks cool, man. That's, you know what, man? You send that to the devs, send that to like Reggie and Haku and all this. They really blow that up. Yeah. You're taking gold armor and just re-upping it? That's smart. That's smart. I love that. I've never seen you.
I gotta repaint it and add pictures on it.
Yeah, that's a sick mashup cosplay. Got a buddy of mine, our friend Kev. You know Kev. He's working on a John Wick Knuckles mashup cosplay because it's like Keanu. Yeah, it looks cool. He sent me a picture. He's doing, oh no, for John Wick. No, Shadow John Wick. Looks good. Got some lint on your hat though. See, I'm talking about you got like a white spot sitting there in the front. Yeah. Mark, what's your shirt, man? Trying to figure it out. What's your shirt? Oh, that's fucking dope. Yo. I was trying to make it out earlier.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Did you start watching Loser Ranger? It's already out. Sorry. Yeah, the first couple. Yo, pause. Yeah, yo, it's the reason why I ended up getting Fallout 4. Yo, my man, Waylon Gollins, man, he was great at the movie. I think right now I have the hot shot. And he's on the Shield. Girlfriend, she played in the Army of the Dead. And Cuba, Denzel, freaking looking like what's his name for Creed. He's a combination of all. He should play his part. What's the like? He's on puzzle, right? Mark.
Attention, you are now tuned in to Pass the Controller. Game roll. Round table, show me your moves. How these moves get good and get in the groove. Gears of war like Sonic hopping the tuck. You don't want the smoke, you'll get bodied by big nuts. Come for the character, stay for the content. Stands from the elite to the civic line. Conventions are streamed, the topics deceased. So tune in, peace and hair grease. Let's go, baby. Peace and hair grease. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller.
What it do, PTC Nation? Welcome to a brand new episode of Pass Controller. First of all, happy April, happy 4th. We do this episode on 420. Just be safe and doing things that, yeah, there you go. You know, Listen, we got a special episode, but not that special though, man. But it's special to us, you know. Listen, you know me. I'm McNucks, Mark Knuckles Carter, man. Listen, you got to be here on this beautiful episode today because we got the crew right here. We got the core crew right here. Nick is doing husbandly duties, man, which he ain't got no time for us, man. But that's fine, you know what I'm saying? Because we got the time here to entertain y'all, man. Before that, we gotta introduce everybody. You already know. You already know the procedure, people. Listen, we gotta go to my man right at the bottom. Y'all see this dude right here. It is the man, the myth, the legend. Smoke, what's going on, man? How you been?
What's going on? We got the core members, the original founders of PTC Nation. We are here today. The three. That's all you need is 1, 2, 3. That's all you need today, really.
It's like Sesame Street. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right. I'm Rover. I guess you're Elmo.
I'll take Elmo.
And Civ is Oxford the Grouch. I don't know. I'm just messing around. I like right now. You can't even hear Civ because Civ is like so mad right now. You can't even hear him. That's how his anger and his fuel. No. But on the real, having a good time, man. Hell diving, doing a lot more, having a fallout moment. All this stuff. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So I'm going to pass the ball, roll it up, and pass it over to the one and only Civ Minded.
What's going on, everybody? How do I live up to that intro? Anyway, yeah, man, I'm excited for tonight. I always say this like every episode. I'm always like, man, I'm super excited for tonight, but tonight in particular because wow, we got so much to talk about. We got to talk about Helldivers yet again. I know we dedicated like more or less an entire episode to that last month rather, but like we got to talk about that again because we got so much going on in the community right now. Got a cool game coming up at the top of the hour there. I know Mark is going to be hosting this thing, so you guys can play along at home. I'm excited. Everything is good. The video game industry is still rock solid. We're still gaming. We're still above the ground. So yeah, man, game on, party on. What we got, Mark?
Absolutely. So, of course, before we get things rolling, man, we got a couple announcements as well, too. Of course, already know, man, it's that season. It's that con season. And we are being, we're going to be appearing at a couple of conventions. First off, we're going to be appearing at Idealistic Con, which is right here in our home.
The first ever
Idealistic Con, which is it's an anime and gaming convention. It's bringing together all true idealists of lovers of anime, gaming, and cosplay. It's the first ever convention that you're hooking up. That's going to be Saturday, May 18th. Check it out, too. Like I said, you can check out their Instagram page, Idealistic Con, as well as their Eventbrite as well, too. Tickets are available. $10 for tickets, man. So come see us. We're going to be there. We're going to be, who knows what we're going to be doing. Maybe we might be just rocking a panel there, man. Like I said, so you cannot miss us. We're going to be there doing the show.
They have a Pokken tournament. Gonna be doing a Pokken.
That's right, man. I haven't played that in such a long time.
Underrated game.
Yeah, basically, if you love that, if you are a fan, if you are great at that game, that came out so many years ago.
Yeah.
Try your skills out, man. Idealistic Con. So check them out. Like I said, the only way you can check out their content is by Instagram. Instagram.com/idealisticon, as well as Eventbrite. It will lead you to a link to Eventbrite, and of course, tickets are $10. So yeah, shout out to Idealistic Con for having us there. We're going to be there May 18th on a Saturday. And
it's in Philadelphia.
It's in Philadelphia, absolutely. And of course, the mecca of video game conventions, man, here in the East Coast. Too many games. That's right. Too many games will be here before you know it. So people, I'm telling you right now, man, listen, you got to, dude, look at that. It's a lot going on for too many games, man. Join us for the longest running video game board game convention in Pennsylvania, right here in the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, June 28th to the 30th. Tickets are available right now, people. Like I said, it's going to be a lot going on. Look at the guests that's happening. Steve's going to be there, man. Steve's going to be there, which is he's connected to the game I'm going to talk about, what I've been playing, too. But Steve's going to be there. You got people from Baldur's Gate, man. You got Neil. Listen, I know he won an award at the Game Awards as well, too, man. Shout out to him. You got Colleen, which is the voice actor for Tails from the Sonic movie, as well as the Sonic video game. So she's going to be there as well, too. Maggie, you got a Resident Evil crew. Of course, our buddy Keith, friend of the show, Keith Silverstein's going to be back at Too Many Games, man. I cannot wait to. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to him at some fashion at Too Many Games. And it's a whole bunch. They're still announcing more guest people. But you can buy tickets right now at toomanygames.com. That's toomanygames.com. Tickets they go crazy, man. So if I tell you that tickets are available right now, get it, please. Like seriously, because you can't. I'm telling you right now, there's no waiting. There's no waiting because I'm telling people there's E3. There's like the hierarchy of video game conferences or conventions. There's like E3, which is no longer here. There's PAX. And honestly, right below it is like Too Many Games and MAG, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like Too Many Games is right at that. You know, listen, we're building up a repertoire, and they're doing it big. So I'm telling you right now, listen, if the tickets are on sale, do yourself a justice and get it, please. That's what I beg of you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be there as well, too. You already know we're going to be there. So do yourself a favor and get those tickets. That is TooManyGames.com. I don't know if y'all got anything else to say about Too Many Games, any surprises? Or
it sounds, I mean, obviously, Passing Controller, we're going to be there. We're going to be hosting a lot of the different celebrity panels there. We're going to have our own table set up for the meet and greet. We're going to be doing our own panel with just us. We've been participating with this particular convention now for the better part of about, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And every single year, it just gets bigger and better. And the guests, the lineup gets bigger and better. And the number of people there gets bigger. And, Too Many Games is the appropriate name for it. Mm-hmm. It is almost too much to experience in one day. So I'm glad that we're going to be there. We're going to be there all 3 days, that entire weekend. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing each and every one of you guys out there for that one.
Absolutely.
We're throwing in some special cosplays in the mix. We're going to mix it up this year. We're going to have to make sure. If you thought what I did last year was something as Gray Fox, wait till you see what we're doing for Too Many Games.
Hold on. Can you give us a hint at least, Smoke?
No.
That's fine. That's fine. Man, that's
I'll give you a hint. It's going to be 6'4" inches tall.
I mean, yeah, that's
taller than that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it's gonna be big and it's gonna be freaking amazing. I know that doesn't really narrow it down, but that's who you want to be looking for when we get there.
The one thing I want to see is like Smoke doing like the shortest video game character, but at his height though, man. You know what I'm saying? So like one of those small characters from Final Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Them little Lalafels. But Smoke just cosplay it just as his size. You know, it's gonna be crazy.
You know who he needs it. You know who he needs to cosplay?
Who?
From Legend of Zelda? Tingle.
Oh my God. I would love to see that, dude.
Tingle.
I would love to see that. That would be
Tingle
amazing,
cosplay.
Dude. I would love to see that.
Or just a Goomba from Super Mario.
Oh my dude, I ain't gonna lie, that would be viral if Smoke does a Goomba, cuz
a gigantic freaking Goomba.
That'll be viral.
Have us as like the Mario and Luigi, and
Hey, listen, chat. If you want to see Smoke in a Goomba cosplay, man, listen. Make sure that you just message us, spam us,
yeah.
DM us.
We can get Nick as Princess Peach. It'll be all good.
Snap.
Oh my God, dude! Listen, we gonna listen. Too Many Games gonna be fun. You can't miss it,
Nick,
people.
he would probably do it too.
Yeah, he would do it. He would.
He would. So I'm not joking.
Yeah, yo. Chat, like I said, you cannot miss Too Many Games, man. Too Many Games is going to be a party, dude. It's like it usually is. TooManyGames.com. That's all I got to say, man. Get your tickets right now, people.
It would be shocking if Mark comes out in a full Knuckles costume.
I would, dude. Man, listen, I'm trying to find a full Knuckles costume too, so badly. I need to find the right person.
I don't know why you never came to me. I would have helped you find out.
Dude, I know, man. Yeah, I know. It's the principle of want to try to do it, and be proud that I found the right person. I guess I don't know, but I got Smoke. I'm gonna leave you to it, man, and see if you can find a person.
Know, man.
Shoot,
like I said,
dude.
Find you the right one. You put the money in it.
Yeah, I would definitely drop a good couple grand.
See you that too.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's up, man?
Well, mascot. Yeah, I would love to do a whole mascot suit,
and then hook that up and suit that up in your style,
dude. The same Knuckles cosplay that you saw during WrestleMania weekend, man. I want to get the same thing, guys. Dude, for real. I was like, yo, that should have been me in that freaking suit.
I thought that was you when you told us you were going to be there. I was like, no, that's not Knuckles.
No, I was backstage, but
dude, as long as The Rock wasn't going to beat you for Mama Rose with that belt,
dude,
Knuckles.
Dude,
Knuckles.
I was so mad, dude. I was like, dang, man, they promoting Knuckles heavily, man. So we're gonna talk about that as well too during the show, man. But of course, before that, we got to talk about
did you tell people that you were gonna have elders on Passing Controller?
Because I wish, dude. I was like, wait, is this something I don't know? I wish, yo, for real. If that happens, man.
You never know on Pass the Controller. You
Well,
never know who's going to show up.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and mark my words, on this date of 420, Blaze It Up Day, 2024, for some reason, I will get a chance, along with the crew, will get a chance to sit on stage to talk to Idris Elba about being Knuckles. Count this day. I guarantee you, man, this day is gonna listen. It's gonna happen, and y'all gonna run back to the episode on 420 and say, "Yo, he called it, man." Count the day, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But of course, before we get into some more Idris Elba and Knuckles news, man, we're gonna talk about what we've been playing, man, because we've been playing a lot of games, man. I want to start off because I want to show y'all this game. I'm so happy. You know me. If I wasn't a fan of the, if my fandom wasn't revolved around Sonic, you know, my next fandom would be Contra. The newest Contra, Operation Galuga, has to be a thank you note to all the Contra fans ever. And I'm so happy, dude. I don't know if y'all played Operation Galuga yet, man, but oh my God, dude, it is so cool, dude. It is so cool. I mean, like I said, you got the original characters, of course, Bill Reiser, Lance Beam. You know what I'm saying? That's always been the player one, player two of Contra, right? But you got more characters in the mix as well too. And there's one game before this game came out that had like weird characters like a panda bear. So I forgot what Contra that was, man. And it just felt it wasn't really Contra. This is a love letter to the classic Contras, man. I mean, talk about between the music. This stage right here, which is like a jungle run, reminds you of the Super C. Pretty much the first stage of Super C. You know what I'm saying? It's like a revamp. A lot of stages are revamped. The music is revamped as well too. It's just amazing, dude. That's all I gotta say. It's beautiful. The weapons stay the same, but they have an added effect to it, like the heat-seeking, like you see here, the heat-seeking missiles, the spread shot, the laser, which I still never pick up because I hate the laser gun, the fireball, machine gun and all that too. There's a twist to these, and of course, like I said, it kept the format of Contra 3 Alien Wars. There's a twist to the weapons though. When you pick up, and it makes you pick up, the weapons twice. If you pick it up twice, they have an added feature. So let's say, like with the heat-seeking missiles that you see right here, this is the version 2, which the character can pick up twice, and now it's like adds more power. It has like a actual like a kill switch mode. The clobber gun, you know what I'm saying? It has like, and there's an extra character too, which I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You got to play for yourself. But yeah, the spread shot is like it's switched. It's changed a little bit, man. It's beautiful. The game is so amazing, dude, that speedrunners are like, I'm learning to speedrun this game now, man. Again, it's so much fun, dude. So much fun. The boss battles. Let me tell you right now. Remember the boss battles of old, man? Big Jimbo. If you remember Big Jimbo is from Contra 3, where he's in that stage where he puts his claws through the gate and he rips the gate open and you got to shoot his skull head. That's Big Jimbo. They revamped Big Jimbo here in this game, which is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, oh, snap, it's Big Jimbo. He's back for more, and he's harder, The alien in Super C as well, too, which has those wavy arms and all that, too. He's back, but he's revamped. Every boss is revamped, plus there's new bosses as well, too. You know what I mean? So this is such a love letter. I highly recommend this game to those that want to get into Contra, those that are lifelong fans of Contra like I am, because I can't, this is beautiful, like seriously. The storyline is great too. Which tells me at the end that they're going to bring out another Contra game to continue with the story as well too, or maybe a DLC, because I can't tell you what the story is, but something happens at the end which prompts it like, oh, this is going to be another Contra. They're making it into a storyline. Like this is like, this is beautiful. Yeah. Music, everything, like I said, the callback to the original Contra games, the music, I always talk about the music as well too, man, you know what I'm saying? So everything from the Steel Spider song, which I love from Super C, is revamped. Everything in this game is beautiful. I reckon, and there you go. There's a glimpse of the one of the final bosses, Varanus. That's all. Smoke, I can see you cosplaying this guy right here, man. Like for real. That's almost say, huh?
I like his suit.
Yeah, the suit is crazy. There's the hero Bill Reiser, which is voiced by Steve Bloom, which we're going to talk to at Too Many Games. And I can't wait to talk to Steve or just get a Steve's table like, dude, thank you for voicing one of my favorite heroes, Bill Reiser, man. in the Zoo Contra game, and he got that gritty voice. It's like, yeah, we're gonna smash you, the blah, you know what I mean? Like the actual, you know, like Steveisms, you know what I'm saying? His voice just fits Bill Reiser so well, and of course Lance Beam. Listen, I can't say no more, man. This game is a 10 out of 10 for me. Knuckles recommended, man. Seriously, pick this game up on Steam. I think it's on the PlayStation, I believe. I forgot what it's on, but I got it for Steam. It is amazing. Like I said, you're gonna fall in love with it.
Did they add like a double jump to this? It looks like your character can
Here's the
double
thing.
jump.
Not all they have a total of, oh my God, I think about maybe 10 characters. I could be wrong. But not every character can double jump. Every character has a certain feature. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Okay.
so not every character. So it's like the girl right here, which you'll learn who she is. I think she can double jump. Bill and Lance can't double, or I think Lance can double jump, I believe, man. I don't know. Maybe you probably see it right here. But yeah, certain characters can double jump, certain characters can hover, certain characters can fly. That's all I can
Oh
say.
wow.
You know what I mean?
It's almost
So-
like Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yes. And of course,
They
you,
all have a
you
different
recognize this stage,
feature.
right? You recognize this
Yeah.
stage. Yeah. It's a callback, dude. This is beautiful, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is amazing how they did it and revamped everything. I highly, Smoke and Civ, it's multiplayer as well, too. I think it's multiplayer. Yeah, I recommend y'all getting it. Like, seriously, get it. It's beautiful, dude. It's just such a love letter to the franchise, to those that have been with the Contra franchise for the longest, man. So,
Was there ever any like official documentation about what the names of the weapons are in Contra? Because like the
Yeah.
S, for example, some people call it the shotgun, some people call it the spreader.
yeah.
That the C weapon, I always thought it was the crash missile. You called it something
Clobber.
else. The clobber.
Clobber.
And then
I
the
think it was pinned as. See, I could be wrong. You probably now you got me thinking, but I think
But like even like with the H is like the homing missile or
Homing or
I mean,
heat-seeking, yeah.
You called it heat seeking. I'm just wondering, like, did they change it, or is it just like what we have just like the fans? Did we just call
Yeah.
it this because
Yeah.
that's what we think it stands for? Like I've kind of like lost, over time, like what they all mean.
right.
F is obviously a flamethrower and the L is obviously a laser. There's no like
There's no yeah. Some people
ambiguity there, but
yeah, right. But
I was just curious about that.
and that's what I think too. I think Crash Missile actually pretty good, but I think with Crash, I think that it's like they're taking it from like a Mega Man style. You know what I mean? Like that could have been it too. You know what I'm saying? Like what came first? You know what I'm saying with the Crash?
Yeah.
Man, is it Mega Man or Contra? You know what I mean? Which is that's interesting. But I think I don't know what my mind gravitated to Clobber. I think it was Clobber. You know what I mean? As far as because it was like more. It was like a more powerful weapon, you know what I'm saying, more hard-hitting weapon, in replace of the fireball that was in Super C, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was using the clobber because, like I said, the damage for the clobber was insane, you know what I mean? Spread, which I figure like it spreads out, you know what I mean? That's why I'm thinking like, instead of it being a shotgun, so I thought it was like, it spreads, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what fans kind of implemented themselves. Might not be called a spread. It could be like the separator version 2.0 or something like that, man. Some kind of weird technicality, man. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of changes and kind of like a revamps and twists in this game, man. That, like, honestly, dude, as a longtime Contra fan, this is a thank you. This is oh my God, I love this so much. I've been playing it day in and day out, man, because I was like, this is beautiful, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, chat, again, please pick this game up. Contra Operation Galuga is out now, and it's so much fun, dude. It is so the story is great, man. So yeah,
So anybody that's playing it, that's a novice that comes in on it, can they enjoy it? Is it roguelike, or is it like the original? For those people that never played it, that don't know a thing about Contra, if they wouldn't go in and play it, could they play it without having to have the rage, quitting rage, because it's not up to speed for them? They can't keep up and all.
That's a great question, because now they have different modes as well too, which you can do it with a classic mode, which classic mode for those that play Contra as well too. Once you get hit, you know what I'm saying, that's a classic mode. You know what I'm saying, then you lose a life. This Contra, you can set it to a mode where if you take a hit, you got an actual HP bar, life bar, so you can actually go in and like, okay, you know what? I got hit by accident. Let me adjust myself and make sure I don't get hit again, because now I got like 80% health bar or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah. People that it's friendly to novices, absolutely. And then for those that are like OGs like us, you want to play like the actual, one hit, you know what I mean, then you can, and they kept that sound too, which is thank you God they kept that sound. So yeah, it's beautiful, dude. Like I said, and anybody that's brand new, take it, man, and just have a ball with it, learn it, and enjoy it, man. Like I said, enjoy the new the new visuals and the new hotness and the new music, and oh my God, man. And this is confirmation on Twitch too. So Donnie did say that it's officially spreader. The S gun is a spreader gun. So yeah, yep. But but the game is lovely, dude. I want to play this, man. Oh my God, I might play this like probably sometime late at night tonight. I ain't gonna lie.
And I assume it's like, is it just couch co-op or is there like online? I don't know if you'd mentioned that.
I believe it's online co-op. It's couch co-op. It's
couch co-op,
yeah. Because I wanted to play with some friends so badly, man. Then a lot of friends was like, nah, it's not online. I was like, God,
that's a missed opportunity.
They messed that up. They messed it up so much, man, because this was a great multiplayer game. You know what I'm saying? If they'd included online capabilities, man, and I wish, oh man, but
I have one criticism too of just like what you showed us, like the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid criticism.
Yeah.
I just always feel like it's really weird playing a Contra game that occurs during the daylight hours. Like every Contra game occurs at night. You ever notice that? It's always nighttime.
Yeah.
So when you're playing and it's like all nice and sunny out, it feels weird. It almost looks more like Metal Slug than it does.
It does. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. It's so minor.
No, that's a good point.
It doesn't take away from the game, but if you showed me like a screenshot of that and I didn't know what game it was and I didn't see a character there, I'd be like, oh, it looks like, maybe more like a new Metal Slug game or something.
Right, right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair, man. And you're right. It is like weird, to have like a, to be in that jungle mission in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it would be like something like like Predator or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
because it borrowed from Predator and Alien.
Right, right.
So
Yep.
Nighttime was always nighttime was the right time.
Yep, exactly. but this game is a lot of fun, man. So listen, I recommend Contra Operation Gluga. Great game. Go get it, people. But yeah, listen, Smoke, what you got, man, for us, yo?
All right. So one of the things I forgot to mention to you guys, I got a chance to have the opportunity. We were talking about callback and we're talking about paying homage. I had the opportunity last night to play G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra demo on Steam. And let me tell you, I cannot wait for four of us to get back into the 80s again. If you thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge or something, wait till you see the Wrath of Cobra. Wrath of Cobra, I highly recommend when it comes out. I cannot wait for it to come out. I had to go play some old school G.I. Joe music to match it up with the. I'm telling you, that was the only downside about it. It didn't have the original theme music, and I understand because of licensing, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it took me back. I was playing, they give you the option to play as Duke or Scarlet, but they have so many other characters that are going to be in the game, like Snake Eyes, Roadblock,
right,
Grunt. They're going to have, and then they're going to have the Baroness. They're going to have Storm Shadow. They have all these other characters: Cobra Commander, Destro, Major Blood, Dr. Mindbender. I'm telling you, this game is a dope game. If you have Steam Deck, it might be on PlayStation or Xbox for the demo,
right? But
I'm telling you, it took me back. I was playing this for at least an hour, taking my time on the demo. I was in La La Land, man.
Oh, dude, this song looks great, dude. Yeah,
I mean, seriously, and I was thinking when you mentioned Contra, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot to tell the guys about.
I saw your reaction early on. I was like, wait a minute, did I strike something, cuz? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Dude, I cannot wait for us to get on here to play this game.
Oh, I'm with it. Yeah, I'm getting this game.
So amped up. They haven't announced the date yet, but it's getting close because they've been putting out videos for the demo. Like, people have been playing it and giving their input, and it's been nothing but positive. And like I said, it takes you back to a simpler time and all this. I'm going to try to get my hands on the game, like a physical copy. I want to own it, not just a digital, but I want to own the physical copy. Just like I did with Shredder's Revenge. I have a physical copy of it. And I think it's through limited run company. Yeah, limited run company. So I'm planning on doing a pre-order for that one.
Nice. Okay.
And so one of the subjects we're going to be talking about, but before we even get into the third game I played, let's talk about Helldivers. Helldivers 2, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Helldivers 2 is right now the best multiplayer game I've
Hands
ever
down.
played. Okay?
Yep.
I've never been a fan of multiplayer. This is the first multiplayer game I can honestly say, as someone who is not a fan of multiplayer, has really won me over. We were just talking about it. Civ and I have been playing almost every other night to like faithfully. And the game is not just, it's about teamwork. It's about once you get your rhythm and you figure out how to work around. And then it changes every week. The game producer, or not the game producers, but the game creators, they're very personal with the players and all. They give you updates. Yeah, there have been some bugs and all, but they are proactive in listening to the community and making it work. I mean, Civ is very critical about when you're playing games like this, and how if it's buggy, you're not going to want to play. You get
Right.
discouraged. Civ even came back and started playing because he was like at one point like, "Hey, it's got too many bugs." It's like almost like almost a semi cyberpunk 2077 moment. But
Right.
then he came right back because they fixed it within a week or less.
It
And
was after our last show where
yeah,
they released a patch for the game that actually broke it further, and it was becoming unplayable for PS5 gamers in particular. And
hmm
I mean, we were just getting booted every match. The game was not just it's not it wasn't a server issue, it was a software issue. The game would
yeah,
crash. It was, and I wasn't the only one, and my friends who were playing weren't the only ones. It was a widespread issue, and the developer knew about it. And I basically said, look, I'm going to come back when this game stabilizes, because right now it's borderline unplayable. Like, it really got
Yeah.
bad.
Right. Right.
And I thought to myself, all right, it's going to take a couple weeks. Within a couple days, they had a patch out for it, and they've had subsequent patches since then. And in the time since our last show and today, I think I experienced one crash. So that's in a month. Like, so it's working extremely well now. Like, I'm
Nice.
very happy with it. They were really on top of it. So, and yeah, I'm critical of that stuff. When you have a live service game and you have an online game, it's multiplayer, and it doesn't work, that's worse than a bug. That's a game breaking glitch that it just ruins the experience. So no,
Right.
Smoke's 100% right, man. Like right now, smooth as silk. Runs
yeah.
great. I really don't have any complaints about the game. I think anything else they change about the game from now forward, it's going to be like, quality of life improvements and little
Right.
tweaks and things. But it's not like they have to make the game so you can play it. No, it's playable right now. It's working really great. So I'm happy with it.
What's so cool about it also is the fact that every week they throw in new things for the game to make it interesting, to keep the fans interested. They've just made an announcement that they're not going to do any crossover promotional stuff like they've done with Fortnite and stuff like that. They want to keep it. They want to keep it genuine to
Yeah.
the core of
Absolutely.
what the game is about. They're not getting caught up in politics, which I love about this game. They're taking a stand and saying, "Look, we're not about getting anything into politics. We're not trying to take sides. We just want this to be a game like how gaming used to be, when you didn't have big major companies trying to interfere, and it's about money and everything else. It's about us having fun, a group of people getting together, not every 5 minutes trolling each other because that's what they expect you to do, but you're having fun." And I'm telling you right now, I have worked not just playing by myself and all, and helping some of the newer guys on there,
Mm-hmm.
and here my levels are like up. But then when I'm on set with Civ and other people that we played that have higher ranks, and I let them follow, I follow their lead and all. It's a great camaraderie. It's great team up. I have rarely ever come across trolls, and when we have, we just actually booted them out. I think it's been once on a blue moon,
Right.
but I mean seriously, it is one of the best engaging games I have ever played as a multiplayer game. It takes me back to when I was in service. It's all about teamwork. We're all working together, and that gives me moments of like when I was in the Marine Corps, where basically it's about there's a time where you to lead and time for you to follow other people that know what they're doing. Whether you're on mic, whether you're off mic, you get the person's rhythm. You try to work with each other. There's a gentleman that we play that has never been on mic but communicates well with me and Civ, and he hey, if something goes wrong, he's like, sorry, we hear the sorry thing, and it's all good. But they listen, we all work together. And I'm telling you, we just recently had an order, like the order that was given to us. It was supposed to be a 6-day event. They said we need to knock out 14 billion bugs. And we did it with not just us, but we, like the whole community, did it within 14
Everybody,
hours.
yeah.
Not 24 hours, but within 14 hours. What does that tell you? So when people, the naysayers, and they're trying to go out here trying to hate on the game because it's a game that is doing well and they're not used to having a company do this well, so they're trying to spark up controversy. They were saying IGN and it was another company, a known company, that was trying to say something negative about this game, and they're like, well, wait, the numbers speak for itself. You just gave an order for a 6-day order that you knocked out not even in less than 24 hours, not even 24 hours. What does that tell you? That's telling you something about this game. This game is, I guarantee you, this game will either be one of the games nominated for Game of the Year or a multiplayer Game of the Year. This, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. It is up there. I cannot stress how much I recommend.
I agree with you on that, Smoke, because this game right now, what's interesting too is that it surpassed. We thought early on, when we did our predictions early on, man, we always thought like, oh man, Rebirth is going to demolish. Helldivers has passed in the month of March as far as active users and sales as well too in March as the top game. So right now, this is Helldivers 2 is officially the top dog of 2024.
The crazy thing is too, they're saying that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales are kind of struggling.
Exactly.
I'm really surprised to hear that, but I don't know if there's a direct correlation between people playing this game and not playing that game.
It is,
but I mean, it's gotta factor in just maybe a little.
It is, because they did say, like,
I don't know to what degree, but it's crazy to hear.
But like, even look, there was a night, matter of fact, right after we did the show, the night where Pastor Controller came on live and we played this game, and we were on the Robotron's universe or section, and the four of us, me, you, Nick, and Civ, listen, we worked together in harmony, and they were throwing rows and rows of robots at us, and we were just knocking them out. We beat the clock and everything else, and you guys were just new to it. Me and Civ were playing it for a while. You guys got right in the rhythm, and that's what makes this game so unique. It's like, okay, everyone's working together. We know what we got to do, and we're knocking it out. It's a good feeling, man. It's one of those few games that you have a good feeling, and you feel good about wanting to come back and play in this community, because everybody is like, and again, you're not going to have everyone on board, but a good majority, I say 95% of the players want to play a good game and want to collaborate and be about camaraderie.
Right.
Put aside politics and all that other BS, and go back to what the root of video games has always been about a whole bunch of people getting together, a whole bunch of game nerds getting together, playing the crap out of a game and having fun.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be about, and they're bringing that back. And I Arrowhead, bravo, because seriously, you guys have done the best job ever, man. Seriously.
Yeah, they did it.
Seriously.
Like I said, this game is pretty much going to be tough to beat, man. Of course, with the new anticipated game coming out, Stellar Blade, man, which is supposed to ring some bells as well too. I feel like Helldivers, a lot of people still going to hook on Helldivers because again, it connects a lot of us in the community, man.
Speaking of Stellar Blade, I played a little bit of the demo. It was all right. I mean, I don't get caught up in, again, I'm not one of these people that get caught up in politics of video games, because I think it's all a bunch of crap show. I think they're just trying to do it because they fear, oh, this game is going to do good, so we're going to try to find a way to crap on the game and all this stuff. But this game, to me, I just think it's overrated. It's a good game, graphically wise, visually wise, of course, duh.
Yeah.
But it's a good game. But to me, I think it's overrated. And that's just my opinion. I think it's overrated. I think it's a good game. It's one of those games that you just add to your collection. For some, whether they want to cosplay the characters or whatever.
Right.
More, to me, it just didn't draw me into a point where I'm like, I got to get this game in my collection.
Right.
It's one of those games that if it goes down, when the price goes down, then it might be a digital game that I'll download to keep. But it's not one of those games I got to get a physical copy of. Like I'm waiting to get a copy of G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra
Right.
than I am to get Stellar Blade. And it has nothing to do with just, like I said, visually and all that crap, like Helldivers, same thing. I'm like, I wanted to get the game. I wanted to have a digital copy, but own a physical copy.
Right.
Because that game has so much, it means so much to me. It's the same with games like this. Stellar Blade, again, if you like a traditional video game that you can just enjoy, have fun, visually be able to be like, and everything else, then okay, Stellar Blade is for you. For me, it's like it was overrated. I think too much publicity has been put on this to overhype the game, and people just trying to gaslight to make themselves look like they're doing something important instead of just like, just let the game come out. And people get too, and I got to say this, people get too caught up on little technicalities. If it's not gender based, if it's not this based, people need to stop gaslighting so many video games and start and just to try to get clicks, to try to get viewership and all, and get back to what the root of video games is about. Having fun, shut the hell up, and play the damn game. Stop fucking complaining, excuse my language, but stop effing complaining every time when it's not something going your way. You didn't complain back in the 80s, 90s, or 2000s. Freaking enjoy the game, because there could come a time when you don't have these games and all this stuff. Now, I'm all for physical copies. Digital copies can come and go, but I'm all for about physical copies. So I'm the first one to support it. But I've sat on the sidelines a lot of times and just eat popcorn and watch this stuff happen. But I had to be vocal about this because I'm just sick and tired. I did a whole big thing recently about pop culture and fandom, and I'm just sick and tired of people trying to gaslight every freaking thing when it comes to pop culture, because of the fact that we need to have stuff that we can have fun with. Put your politics and your BS on the side and let's enjoy a game. Okay, this is why I love Helldivers 2. Why we're going to talk about Fallout in a bit. Again, why we do this show. Our show is not about negativity. We're about being positive and talking about positive things in the community, positive things in gaming, things that we're not happy with, but things that we're not going to crap all over because it's what they expect us to do. I don't care if we have 2,000 people watching us or 2 people watching us. We are putting together quality podcast shows. And people need to get back on focus on that and stop focusing on so much negativity and trying to get clicks in order to get viewership, because negativity sells. I'm just done. I had to say this. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bring the show down or anything else like that.
Nah, I feel that.
This is my real big piece on it. I love video games. I've loved video games since Pong. Yes, I'm one of those old heads that have been playing video games for a long time. I have a library of video games and systems. I'm just sick and tired of corporations trying to make so much money and pimp the customer because they think that, oh, well, the customer's stupid. We'll put out a game and then you have to pay all these little extra qualities, DLCs and all this stuff. Guess what? I'll wait for the game to drop and wait for the game and the price to go down before I start paying a whole bunch of, unless it's a game of quality.
Right.
A game with a good storyline, a game that the developers put their heart and soul into, and not just doing it for gaslighting or for political gain or just to get people to talk, but something that really brings it home. There have been games you and I and Civ has talked about that really hit it home, story mode games and all that we have played that really are centric. And we need to have more of those games come back and not so much be about politics, but about quality.
Yeah.
Let's get back to quality, what video games is truly about. Quality, having fun, camaraderie, and not all this spewing negativity. Let's leave the negativity and the BS and the trolling outside. I have to say this as a gamer, as someone who's been in this game for a long time. I had to speak my piece on it.
Right.
Sim told me the one has a very constructive criticisms when it comes to certain things in the video game landscape, and the same with you, Mark. And people know I don't often say too much when it comes to this, but I'm very, very shrewd about this. I cannot stress this enough. So, getting back to the show, I had to say that.
Now I get that. Listen, man, like I said, you're right. I mean, well, again, with a lot of things that's coming out as well too, man. Like I said, who knows, man? Like I said, Helldivers is putting work in. A lot of these games are putting work in. This is still a great year. 2024 is still a great year. When it comes to these game releases and all. And like I said, that's when we have.
But when you think about it right now, what is the biggest game that everyone's looking forward to? I mean, you have some Nintendo games that are coming out
For sure.
But right now, it's like there's nothing on the forefront other than Final Fantasy, which surprisingly Helldivers took that over. But what games are we really looking forward to that's coming out of that people have been really hyping about?
Yeah, and there's a degree to a certain level, man, with a lot of hypeness with certain games. That's why I was saying with the next, I think the next week with Blade coming out, and that's why I was like, a lot of people are really anticipating to see how that storyline, how the gameplay, the functionality of the characters and all that too. Like there a lot of people. Again, you talk to a huge community of near automata players, and this game is kind of like has that near look to it as well.
Oh, it does.
And
it's going to appeal. It's going to appeal to certain people, but then you're going to have those people that want to look for something to be wrong with them.
Oh, sure, for sure.
That's what gets on my nerves. I'm just sick and tired of seeing all this. Every time when there's even Helldivers, they're trying to find a reason to find fault with the game instead of looking at the positive of what is done. And again, the public has spoken. The public has spoken. And again, and it makes me feel good to know that there are games out there left. Right now, when you got companies like PlayStation or Sony that are pushing the PS5 Pro, and yet you have not shown the full potential of PS5 yet, I kind of get a little bit agitated about that because I'm like, do you think the consumer is going to be super? They tried it with the VR too, and I'm like, nobody was buying it. Nobody was really, why? And yet you want to charge almost the same amount as you charge for the system for a headset. Are you kidding me? Just for it to go out and be done within next less than a year, and you expect me to pay another, not even $500, but $600 on a headset, which is more than the system?
Yep.
Oh, stop trying to pimp us, Sony. Stop trying to pimp the masses, man. Come on, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Again, I'm in one of those rare moments, man. And Civ, I'm sorry, but you know me. I'm very quiet when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just try to be enjoying everything that's been coming out, but I just felt some kind of way about it.
I hear that, man. Listen, you got to get the passion out here, man.
I'm on fire on this today, man. I'm on fire about this.
No, I feel that. I feel that.
But also, and let's talk about Fallout. Let's talk about the series, okay? Fallout series, I'm going to start this right off the gate.
Now, hold on. Before you do that, because again, we're going to talk about a lot of the video game series that's going to be out as well too. Before we get to Civ's game, the Fallout series is definitely worth watching on Amazon. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it now. This is spoiler free because I know Smoke's going to talk about it as well too. I could, but everything probably Smoke's going to talk about, which pretty much my sentiments is exactly. So, Smoke, go ahead, man. Let's because it connects with your game as well too.
Well, first off, also they just announced they are picking up for
season 2. Correct. Yep. Early.
For those who are like novice Fallout fans who are going into watching this series, I'm telling you right now, I was a novice fan. I had one of the Fallout games way back when. I just played it once or twice, and I'm like, all right, I'll get back to playing it. The series bought me in to wanting to get. I ended up buying Fallout.
Okay, so hold on. So Smoke, you played the Fallout series before, right?
Like I played it briefly. Yeah.
You play a few. Okay. This is a person that never played Fallout before in his life that started watching it, that fell in love with it, man. I was like, I should have been playing the game because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does, for you to play the game, and you're going to talk about, because you played Fallout 4 just recently, and it feels like everybody that's been watching the series right now, I know Donnie in the chat talk about the show is 9.5 out of 10. I'll say it's 10 out of 10, to be honest with you. It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to me, for those that hadn't played the series yet, man, what is comparing the series to the game, Smoke? I mean, you could just break it down for us a little bit, man.
Well, here's the thing. They made it in a way where they've been talking with the developers and then the producers of the game and the show, and they were saying that they wanted to make it its own thing. It's still set in the same universe as Fallout, but there were so many nods to the game and characters and references that if you're a fan of Fallout, you're automatically going to be doing this. Like you see that Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for people like myself and you that come into it and never really got into the lore too much, might have played it but never understood the lore, this was a great introduction of the lore, the story. They gave you a more concrete origin story about how it all began, and the way it was written, well-written characters that you could relate to. One of the characters, gives you their perspective. Like you're almost that character. You're like the person through that character's eyes.
Right.
Like you're making choices and decisions. Where you have this one main character lead who's a well-written character. You have the ghoul who's like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And his background, his storyline is great.
Yep.
And basically they pay a lot of humongous nods to the game itself, and even things where you're like, oh my God, wait a second, that's so-and-so. So it's great. And then when you're going into playing the game, you're like, oh, you're familiar. So it's a great way. I would recommend for anyone to go and to go watch the series. If you like the series, you'll want to get the game. I got Fallout 4. I say to me, Fallout 4 is a good jump point for me. I recommend it to a lot of people because people said, and also they're about to do enhance the graphics come next week for Fallout 4.
Right.
So it's a perfect time, and they have all this DLC. A lot of it's just about free and everything else. So it's the perfect time to get Fallout 4. But if you have not watched the series, if you want a series that it's well written and that people like you're invested in these characters, I guarantee you, and you have a better origin story about the whole Fallout universe and all, check out this series.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's really good. And like I said, they already got picked up for a season 2. So yeah, I'm not giving anything away from the show other than that's my surface review, and also why I end up getting the game.
Yeah, it's real quick question, and actually Donnie in the chat said, I thought we peaked with The Last of Us, but Fallout threw the bar out the window, man. And it honestly, like I said, I haven't played the game yet for Fallout, man, but it got me so like, about eyes was pretty much like about a few inches away from the TV, just watch. I'm like, oh, this is great, cuz like, yo, the heck, man.
And that's why I said I like Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 is almost parallel with, it's like another story within the Fallout universe. It could fit well into the series if you wanted to, but if it's Fallout 4, the game itself is parallel with, it's just a different way of they wrote it and all, but it's just as good as you're watching the show. You're just playing, and you can get to make yourself in there and all that. And the other thing I love about the game that Cyberpunk did not do, which is gives you first person and third person perspective.
Right.
Which, again, gotta give it to Fallout on that one.
Now again, speaking from a person that never played the Fallout series, and probably you and Civ can answer this, or the rest of the chat can answer this as well. But is the series based off of a certain Fallout, like Fallout 4? Is that why you're playing Fallout 4? Just for example, like Uncharted movie is based off of Uncharted, I think 2, because of the I'm trying to figure out the scene when at the end of the game of Uncharted 2 was a pirate ship and all that too, and of course the movie took away from that. And I was like, oh, that's Uncharted 2.
It's a mixed bag because they took a lot of the lore. They did some things to dismiss certain things. They were saying there was a lot of certain connections with Fallout Las Vegas. But they're saying that this game has more in tune of how the series is, as far as just to start off, and you're starting off as characters, not multiplayer. It's a straightforward game. And it got good reviews even when it came out back then. But it's basically you're starting off from scratch, and the storyline, without giving anything away for Fallout 4, it's kind of like, okay, you're learning as you go. One thing I will say in this game, and once you start setting up, collect everything that you find. The wasteland is something. But again, I'm still learning. I'm just trying to get a lot of these DLCs. I'm adding stuff on and everything. And I'm like, I'm trying to survive in this world and all this stuff. But all in all, it's one of those games that you can enjoy, and it has a lot of merging, but there's also a lot of things that are different. It's supposed to take place in a certain time period, but they jump time a lot. So there's 1 minute you're in the present, and they're present, and then you go back into their past and you find out a lot about their backgrounds and the characters, the 3 main characters' backgrounds, and how it shaped the world of Fallout. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which the game did not cover, and they talked about it. They just said, the origin and world building, it gives you a better explanation, because they never told you in the game how it led up to where the game takes place presently.
Right.
So they give you a little bit more of a background story, and it's good pacing. The pacing is good. There's no real slow moments, and you're just sitting there trying to figure out, oh wait, so like if you watched it, Mark, I know you were sitting there like, yo, how the hell? And then you're starting to find out little things.
Right.
As it's leading up to the season finale. You're like, holy crap, yo, that's crazy. So yeah. And for everyone that's watching the series, make sure you stick around towards like the end credits and all, because there's something that happens at the very end of the credits. For those who are fans of Fallout.
Oh, see, I wish I played the game first, dude. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why we're gonna talk about it a little more, especially with a lot of other video game adaptations as well, and how they're successful.
Not for nothing. Had I known that Fallout was that good, I would have cosplayed the knights.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because I know people that built those knight armor suits, and I'm like, damn, now I gotta go do some research.
Dude, I mean, shoot.
3D printer.
Listen, it's a great time now to do it, man. Seriously, But
yeah,
Fallout. Everybody go watch Fallout. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Civ, man, you've got a game that you want to bring out, man. What have you been playing? Wait, is Civ still
Oh, wait, whoa, we're doing a show. Oh, hey!
You're doing a Nick on us, man.
We got a lot to talk about.
You're doing
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Start things off by talking about what? Wait, what did I miss?
Yo, I thought the thing was frozen. I said, yo.
I was like, yo, I was like, man, we took control of that, man. Civ just like freaking froze up, cause
hold on, we're gonna pass the controller to Civ now.
Oh my
God! You put a Nick on us, though. You put a Nick on us.
Last 45 minutes of my life are kind of a blur. I kind of don't remember where I was.
That's content for you, baby. But wait,
go ahead,
Civ, what you playing, man? What you been playing these days?
What's going on? Video games? Oh yeah, video game. Yeah. So God. What were we talking about? Helldivers. Yeah. So I've been playing Helldivers, and that's a good game. And it reminded me of another game that I played when I was much younger, back in 1991. So whenever I play a new game, I always kind of think about some of the older games I've played. And there was a game back in 91 during the 16-bit era on the TurboGrafx 16 called Silent Debuggers, which I guarantee none of you remember.
No, I did not know about this. Yeah.
Well, it's a game that has a lot of things thematically that are very similar to Helldivers, and it borrows from a lot of other sci-fi franchises of its time. So it has a little, feels a little bit like Aliens, feels a little bit like, it's got a little bit like your Event Horizon, a little bit of Star Wars or Star Trek going on in there. Basically, what this is, it's a single-player game. It's a first-person. I say first-person shooter / survival horror because it's got like a little bit of both. It's you're navigating around this space station that's overrun by these bugs, right? And I want to just for the hell of it, I figured I would read to you the official. This is straight from the game manual. This is the plot as it's described, and whenever I use air quotes like this, that's what they say in the text. This is what they say, air quoted. So, all right. The Great War is over. Mankind is united into one peaceful world. Or is it? Well, the joint government, this is what it says.
I love or is it? I love that question.
While the joint government pursues a policy of advancement into outer space, it encounters pockets of resistance. The evil forces, bugs, must be destroyed before they threaten the peace of the universe. Yet there are no armies, only small groups of highly paid soldiers left over from the Great War. The most famous of these groups is the Silent Debuggers. Powerful and mysterious, now the government calls upon them again. And as an aspiring debugger, capital D, with your sidekick Leon, you are assigned to enter the evil space station Gane.
What?
Gane.
Yeah.
While it is rumored that riches abound, no debugger has ever returned from this fortress of evil. Hard stop. That's it.
So the game. So wait a minute. Is Leon like an AI companion or something like that? Because I'm thinking like
Leon is a human that basically he's like your operator.
Okay.
During this whole thing. So it's like your mission control. So you're constantly like roving around these like first person hallways where you're obviously in the space station. You're trying to eradicate these quote unquote bugs. What's really cool about it, if you look down at the bottom center part of the screen, there's
Yeah.
like this real-time radar thing going off,
Yeah.
right? So it's very reminiscent of like in Aliens, how they had like the little device that would ping. It could tell you like motion detection throughout this place. So a lot of these corridors, you don't see these enemies coming until you're like right up on them. Up
Right.
until that point. So it's a lot of jump scares. Not only that, but this game is timed. So you're always against the clock. Like the things I forget exactly why, but I think you're gonna like the thing's gonna self-destruct or something like that if you don't make it out in time.
Yeah, I see like the
But
83 minutes and all that. I was like, oh, that's enough time to actually do, I guess, a mission or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, you'd be surprised. But there's a lot you got to do in this game. There's it has I don't want to say like role-playing elements, but it's like you're always upgrading weaponry, you're finding new things, you're fixing things around the ship. So it's almost like a pre-Dead Space, pre like sort of like alien isolation kind of game.
Mhm.
And the only thing obviously Helldivers remind me of this just because you're fighting these bug-like creatures, some of which on the hardest mode in this game, they're completely invisible. You don't even see them.
Really?
So you have to
Really?
go exclusively by your radar. So you're looking at this radar ping as you're walking down these hallways, and you have to like assume you know where they're at, and you start to just blind fire at them, and it's crazy. Like definite like survival horror elements to it, even before that term was coined. So very cool game. Um, I don't think it's necessarily aged well or poorly. It's kind of in between. Like if you're into this kind of game and you can appreciate older 16-bit games, it's a lot of fun.
Right.
Again, it's single player, so that's just you just deal with that. So like a lot like Alien Isolation, you're just on your own. But it's cool. Definitely check it out. I mean, it's on emulators and stuff like that. I don't know how many people are floating around with original TurboGrafx 16 hardware per se, but it's decent enough to look up. It's just funny because you play these modern games and you start to think back like, wow, I feel like I've played games like this, but not exactly like
Right.
this.
Right.
And this
Right.
one got me thinking back to this game, which was like even back in the day, like in 1991, I didn't know of anybody else that owned this game, let alone like a TurboGrafx 16. That was a real rarity. So
Right.
I went back and started playing this again. One thing I will say for this game, the music is pretty incredible. Sounds really good. It bangs pretty hard. Like a lot of TG16 games, they had really good soundtracks.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. It has like little pseudo anime like cutscenes, interspersed throughout, like every once in a while. That's how you meet your friend Leon in this
Yeah.
game. It's like introduced like during the beginning. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think it's like necessarily like game of the year material or anything like this. I'll tell you one thing, you can't see it in this particular clip. Oh, see, so here's like one of your like little like side mission things you're
Right.
doing.
Right.
But what they don't show here is sometimes you're like in complete darkness. Like you'll walk into a corridor and there's just no visibility like whatsoever, but you
Gosh,
still have to
man.
keep walking. So you're feeling around inside these corridors and it's like a little bit scary. Like, if you had the ability back then to like really immerse yourself in a game and could like, use your imagination a little bit, games like this were a lot of fun, like you really could like, feel the tension in it. So it's definitely pretty cool. Also want to say just one thing because we talked about Stellar Blade ever so briefly. I just want to bring up a quote because this is from the director of Nier Automata. It's Yoko Taro.
Mm-hmm.
They checked out Stellar Blade, and I don't have the direct quote per se, but basically they were like, "We're jealous.
Nah.
We're jealous."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like the devs behind Nier Automata and Deus Ex both have said Stellar Blade is extremely high quality. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I think Stellar Blade looks really good. So anyway, that's my rant about Stellar Blade. So yeah, enjoyed Silent Debuggers. Check it out if you get a chance. I mean, if for nothing else, if you're like just a first-person shooter fan or survival horror fan, it's a lot of fun. Check it out.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I like going back to retro titles like this, man, just to see how it is, man. And this definitely looks, intriguing as far as, believe me, dude, when it comes to, it's like trying to feel around. I know it's like a trial and error kind of thing too, man, because I'm looking at the time. I'm like, oh, it's enough time to do that, man. But I'll probably die beforehand or, before that, you know what I mean? It's like the time don't even matter, really. I figured it's just, it's probably just that whole timer, real quick, just like, because I'm looking at it, that's like, when I said it's like a lot of time, like the 80 minutes, is that just to finish the whole game? Like, is that like to finish
The whole game.
The whole game.
Yeah, but that's on that clip right there. I don't recall if it was on easy or hard mode or normal or hard. It had like two settings.
Right.
Like the harder difficulty, I think it cuts the clock in half, and the enemies are about 3 times as strong. So it was, you know how old school games are like just naturally harder. That was a
Right.
hard game. Plus, there's no tutorial for that kind of game. I remember when I first got it, I did not have an instruction booklet for it. I had to wait till later years when I could download it and read it. But yeah, like, you know, you just kind of had to like guess what you had to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely reminded me of like Alien Isolation, and you know, as soon as you get one thing done, the game tasks you with doing something else. Like something's always breaking around the ship. It's the USG Ishimura all over again. You're Isaac Clarke, but yeah,
Right.
it's kind of like that, man. It definitely feels like it. Even like the look of that game, the graphically, like the way it's like laid out, you can definitely see like inspirations behind it. Like, you know, you can see a little bit of like a Star Trek-ish thing going on, a little bit of aliens. You know,
Yeah.
it's got like sort of that, you know, that sterile look to it, you know, like you're on this like fancy space station, but yet it's all abandoned. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna check that. We're gonna check that out, man. Like I said, man. I'm gonna see how that game. I'm probably gonna suck at it, man. Most likely, man. First few runs at it, man. But
Everybody does.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
does.
I kind of
I
want
would
to.
say this, if nothing else, just play through like the first 15 minutes of it because it
Mhm.
has a really cool intro. It has like a very early, you know, like cinematic intro that makes it worth playing. It's
Got
very
you.
cool.
Got you. All right, I dig that. I dig that. Listen, man. Like I said, if you chat, if you want to check out any of the games that we playing, man, like I said, do so. Seriously, do so. Run the tape back as well too at the end of the show to see, you know, hey, what these guys been playing, man, and then check it out for yourself. Listen, it's going to be this year has been a very good year. Every year is a very good year for video games. To be honest with you, man, no matter what time you're living in, man, we're in a great timeline right now as far as besides video games being played, as well as video games being watched, man. And we talked about the success of Fallout too, man. And that goes with a lot of other video game adaptations, man. This is coming from The Guardian, talking about the success of Fallout proves video game adaptations have gone mainstream. They're saying right now that it's looking like video game movies are almost going to be surpassing superhero movies when it comes to, you know, sales and you know, the box office sales and all that. Listen, I'll put it this way, man. You got certain things that's going to be you know, coming out. Like we've been fed well. We've been fed well when it comes to series like Fallout. When it comes to The Last of Us, man, we've been glued to The Last of Us. I think HBO has seen a great spike in subscriptions when The Last of Us series came out. We're gonna see a great spike in subscriptions with Paramount Plus when this Knuckles series comes out Friday. Man, make sure y'all pin that Friday as well too. But
You might see Mark show up and he might do a cameo.
I mean, listen, I wish I wish they did.
Come on, Knuckles, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I wish they did, man. It's incredible how the turnaround of video game adaptations has been. From the article, it talks about, it says a slew of commercials and critical hits, including last year's HBO series, The Last of Us, which won eight Emmys, and a Super Mario Brothers movie, which made $1.36 billion in the global box office, has led to market experts comparing them to Marvel adaptations, which have long been big money makers for studios. And now this is from games industry analyst Reese Elliott. He says game adaptations are the new superhero movies, man. What do y'all think about that? Is it true? Like, do you think that right now we're in an era where, listen, video game movies are slowly going to be surpassing Marvel movies or superhero movies or, you know, what have you?
Thinking about this the other day, one thing I think that really bodes well for video game based movies and TV shows is that when we were kids, you would get these adaptations of games that didn't really have a very deep narrative. So you would get these Hollywood writers who would fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like you had like the Double Dragon movie, which was garbage, and
Yeah,
you had
right.
the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was garbage. And even with the Street Fighter
Street
movie,
Fighter. Yeah,
I mean, it's a guilty pleasure. Like, I mean, we like it for different reasons, but let's be honest, man. That movie, it's what can I say? What adjective can I use that has not yet been used? It's because largely they had to make a story around something that didn't have a 3-act structure. It didn't have a mythos. A little bit, but it wasn't enough to base an entire full-fledged movie around, let alone, you know, a serialized TV show. It
Right.
just, it just wasn't there. There wasn't enough to substantiate that. Now you have the ability and you have these games that like, they have an entire story around them. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not hard to make a Last of Us TV series. It's
Yeah.
just not hard. You have so much written. You have such a deep history now uh, that really does follow a classical narrative structure vis-a-vis the game. So it's much easier now for like people to go in now and access that kind of information and create something that's more cinematic now is much more simpler task, and it's more easily digestible from the
Mm-hmm.
consumer because we've played through it. Like we've been there. Even like with the Mario franchise now, we've had so many games and we've had other TV shows. We had the cartoon and we've had handheld games and we've had books and comics and all these other things. So now to make a movie, you can do it. Like
Yeah.
there's enough material now. Like you don't have to guess and you don't have to have like some Hollywood person who's never played a video go, I don't know, maybe we should make the Goombas into dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't need, there's no, the guesswork is taken out. You know now that the formula works. You know now that the history is established. It's much easier. Your question about whether it's becoming like the new hot ticket, like the
The
new the
superhero.
new
Yep.
success formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, and I'm not knocking superhero movies and comic movies, but my interest has waned quite a bit on those. I'm burned out. I am so burned out. Like even with Star Wars, like stuff that I mean, I love it. I'll always come back to it, but I don't feel hard pressed like when something airs like that night I have to binge it. And no, I'll get to it. Like I didn't see Loki season 2. I didn't go through all of What If season 2. I didn't watch like some of the newer Star Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested, but I'm not like live and die.
Right.
You know, it's very oversaturated right now.
Yeah.
So oversaturated. And the reason why it is because they have to substantiate the existence of these subscription services. But in the long run, aren't you watering down the entire product? Like, is anything consequential if everything is consequential?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can I watch another Marvel movie right now and believe, oh, it's the evil guy is going to conquer the universe and it's coming to an end, but somebody's going to save it, like at the hour and 45-minute mark. I'm burned out. It's the same formula. It really is. It's hard because comic books have been doing this for years,
Yeah.
and you can jump in and out of a comic book. And you can do that also with like these TV series. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm kind of at the jump out point. Like it's a great product. I'm not knocking the product. I'm just saying I've had enough. It reminds me back when like The Simpsons were super popular. I watched every episode of The Simpsons and even like South Park until one day I just decided, it's not that the quality of the program is bad. I've changed as a person. I have had enough laughs. I've got enough out of it. I'm gonna just depart from this for a bit. Like I've had enough. It's okay. Like I'm glad that they still have the product out there, but with video game stuff that's coming out now, I'm super excited for it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited for the Borderlands movie. I know some people are kind of like, eh. I'm like, no, I think it's going to actually be decent because, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there in the Borderlands universe that could make it really cool. So I'm excited for that. And like, as soon as far as like Fallout goes and Last of Us and stuff, I mean, Smoke was saying earlier, man, it's Emmy caliber stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
really top-notch writing. The production is there. The acting is there. It's not treated like a joke anymore. It's not
Mm-hmm.
marketed to like infants. Like, we've all grown beyond that. We're all older now. So like it's cool that like they're making stuff that like almost anybody who's a true fan can sit there and go, wow, this is for me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
There-
that means
There's
a lot. That goes a long way.
It's interesting because there's one paragraph in this article in The Guardian talked about that. It says that video game fans have expressed relief that the so-called curse of the adaptation has been lifted. They attributed this to two things. One, modern adaptations sticking more closely to the tone of the games while expanding on the story, and studios spending more money to secure some of the biggest actors and producers in film and TV. You got to think about it right now. The hype is the pinnacle of hypeness for video game adaptations is increasing. Look at the hype of who was casted as Shadow in the new Sonic movie, Keanu Reeves. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is on Twitter and on Facebook is clamoring about that. compared, see, it's so funny too because when you're talking about like how Marvel movies is feel like, or just superhero movies in general, I don't want to say Marvel movies, superhero movies in general, kind of like it's like we getting a burnout right now because I feel like that burnout started after, I guess after Endgame. I don't know if y'all agree, but for me it was like after Endgame, like the burnout of superhero movies, like crap. Now here's
Totally
my
agree.
thing. Right, here's
Totally
my thing.
agree.
It's like, you know, we was that type of people. Like I said, our fandom was into Marvel like that. We was that type of people. Was like, oh, we gotta see that the day before. We gotta see that the day before. We gotta talk about. We gotta be the first one to talk about that. You know. And then after that hype, the pinnacle of hypeness was after that climactic movie with Endgame. It just started trickling. The hype started slowing down and cool down. It's the same thing as for all of us. I compare it to another example, like The Walking Dead. When was the pinnacle of hype calmed down? After Glenn's death,
I'll tell
right?
you exactly when I'll tell you exactly when I bailed on that show.
After Glenn's
It
death.
was it was one season after, it's season 8. I looked at my wife and we both looked at each other and we're both like, I think we're done.
Yeah,
And mind you, the comic was still in circulation. The comic was still live. It didn't complete yet. Now, I've read the comic and I've played the Telltale games, and those two things are better than any episode of the TV show. I
yeah,
was a fan of the TV show. I was. But you get to a point where you're like, okay, do something different.
yeah,
That's the thing, and I'll defer to Smoke on this. But my thing is, I know Smoke knows more about comics than I do. He just does. I am not a casual comic book person. I'm fairly avid, but I am not hardcore. Smoke is hardcore. He knows his stuff.
yeah,
For me, if it's on a scale of 1 to 4, I'm probably, or 1 to 5, 1 to 5. I'm like a 3.5 to a 4. Like I'm up there, but I am not encyclopedic. So my thing is with comic adaptations these days is just do something different. Okay, that's why I love The Boys. It does something different. I love Peacemaker. It does something different. I love Invincible. It does something different.
yeah,
You know, that's why I was a fan and always will be a fan of The Watchmen because it did something different. Marvel and DC sometimes, and I know, well, technically, Watchmen is a DC product, but my point being is that the mainstream stuff in comic books, while it's more digestible to more people, sometimes it's not as satisfying to hardcore or above average avid fans. It gets very monotonous. It gets tired. And what I'm glad about right now with video game movies is it's hitting its stride at the perfect time because,
yes,
like you said,
yes,
it's going like this. This has happened before. It used to be there was a time where everything was like these high impact action kung fu movies. And then it went like this. And all of a sudden we started to get like sci-fi movies.
that's
And
right. Yeah, good. Yeah,
movies,
yep.
sci-fi movies started to kind of drift off a little
That's
bit.
right.
And then we got dinosaur movies.
Yeah,
And then after dinosaur, we got disaster movies. And then after disaster movies, we
yep,
started it. I swear to goodness, if you go back and you look at movie trends, you can see it. You can graph it.
yeah,
It happens. There
yeah.
are
You're
trends
absolutely
in
right.
Hollywood.
Absolutely
And
right.
so I'm not gonna filibuster. I definitely want to get Smoke's opinion because to me, like from my perspective, I would give you like ABC. This is what works and what doesn't. But Smoke will probably tell you something completely different. So I'm a pitch it to you, man.
Well, like just listening to what you guys are saying, that there's some truth to it. Now, as far as for comic books and all, like you said, for the average person that's watching movies and they're taking and consuming superhero films, and I don't believe in the idea of superhero fatigue and all that. That's BS. That's something that somebody wanted to troll on and again gaslight and
Well, it's
stuff.
not total BS because
But
I
no, no.
I
But
think it's
let me just finish.
personalized because I am a little
Well, no,
fatigued
no,
about
no.
it,
But let me just
to be
finish.
honest.
There's
Right.
more to this.
Right.
As I said, some people have gaslighted the whole idea of superhero fatigue. It's not so much of superhero fatigue. For most of the general public that are novice or that are, you know, general comic book fans with good stories, it gets tiring after a while because you start seeing the same repetitious story. It's the same storyline. You have to do something like Civ just mentioned about the boys, Invincible. You have all these superhero shows that are against the grain, and that people are want to see something that's you would not see in a superhero movie. Even with Deadpool coming out, which I am excited about, a lot of people are excited about. With X-Men 97 hitting its stride, and people are losing their mind over it. People are talking about it. This is stuff that, yeah, it has the opportunity to come back, but it's not going to hit as hard as like the End Game and all that because of the fact that they have to win those people back. And the same with Star Wars and everything else. Now, right now, like for as video games, it's a new outlet because for a lot of people that have been playing video games, of course, and that's just about almost everybody from the 80s all the way up to current. People now, like if they had put out Ready Player One now, it would have been more accepted and more viewed than it did when it came out a couple years back because it wasn't ready. Same with Tron, it wasn't ready. Now I think now more than ever, people now are more hungry for it, and so I don't think the superhero genre is going to go away. I just think that it's going to be in this category. If it hits, people are going to talk about it. People are going to jump on it, but it's not going to have that feeling because it's established itself. It's established itself. But for the hardcore fans, our comic book fans, they're going to like right now. Marvel's doing the Daredevil. They're doing the research of the Netflix superhero shows,
Right.
Daredevil and all, and they're bringing back a lot of the original actors. Okay, yeah, of course you're going to pull in those people that were loyal fans of it, but you're not going to make. I don't think you're going to pull in everyone when you had the opportunity to have everyone's attention. And so, with that being said, it's not so much a fatigue. It's more or less like, okay, you guys had a good run. It's like going out with someone and you either are going to decide to have a long-term relationship with or marry, or this is somebody that you're just going to date and just probably just be friends with. That's how the superhero genre, either you're going to be committed to it and for the long haul, or you're going to say, you're a good friend and we can still be friends, but I'm going to look into some other stuff. That's what it is. With the video games,
Yeah,
it's that new person that's coming along. That's
something you just said. Something you just said too. This is important because I just had this epiphany because I saw the Transformers One trailer.
Right.
And now you know how I said Smoke is like he's a top tier comic book guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a top tier Transformers fan.
Yeah.
Same here too.
I've been so since day one, and that was what 40 some years ago. So like that's my credentials. I'm not look my wedding band, my actual wedding band has the Autobot logo. I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it
there
yeah.
a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there a little bit.
Yep.
My wife got me a Transformers wedding band. Inside is inscribed with "Till all are one."
Yeah.
I'm a big Transformers fan. I saw the newest trailer, and I've tried to revise my way of looking at things through the guise of, someone who in a short amount of time, I'm going to turn 50 years old, half a century.
You're still a baby, man. Whatever.
I can't expect to experience new things through the eyes of what used to be a 10-year-old. It's just not going to work anymore. Like it or not, whether it be video games, TV shows, or comics, or sports, or anything in life, you have to start realizing things about yourself. You are evolving.
Yep.
You are changing. Tastes change. Listen, some people, I always get this weird argument about The Simpsons. People say, "Oh, Simpsons started to suck. It's horrible." And I'm always like, well, maybe, but also maybe your sense of humor changed.
Yeah.
Maybe your sense of taste. Maybe your available time that you had to dedicate to something when you were young, it went away when you got older. Now, even with video games, I hear people today, people that are on the PTC website on our show, like have said in chats that they're just not as fond of gaming as they used to be. I'm like, that's a very deep thing to admit, that you're not into a thing maybe that you used to love. And maybe there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I personally don't see it in the near future that I would say ever that I'd be like, I think I've just played my last video game. I think I'm done. I think I'm going to move on. I've had other hobbies throughout my life. I used to race cars professionally. That's true. I used to be quite the artist when I was younger. I had all these different interests. They come and go. Always been into video games. and I still love Transformers. So back to that. And again, I don't want to filibuster. I'm sorry, but
No.
just to point out,
Yeah.
people really they trashed the hell out of that Transformers trailer, and they're, oh, this looks juvenile. This is horrible. This is for kids. And I'm like, yeah, it
Pretty
is.
much.
When you're like old, yeah, man, it's not for you anymore. I
Yeah.
had to literally tell another grown-ass man this. Yes, it's silly and juvenile, and it's not for you. If you like it, great.
Mm-hmm.
But we are no longer the core demographic.
Demographic, yep.
Okay? It's for our kids. It's for our kids. There was some humor in
Preach,
the
man.
original Transformers TV shows and the movies and even the Michael Bay movies. That was weird and juvenile and it was cringy, or it didn't make sense, or it wasn't cool. But we dealt with it and we loved it regardless. Am I excited for the Transformers 1 movie? Not excited.
Right.
But I will watch it. I will give it a chance. My expectations are such that I say my opinion. I say this in advance. My opinion doesn't matter because it's not for me. It's for my kids. It's not even for my kid anymore. My kid's 16 years old. It's really not even for him. It's almost, if I had grandkids, it'd be like for them. Really. It's fine. But we need to start mentally learn. Smoke said something earlier. I was acting like I wasn't paying attention, but I was totally paying attention. And I want to point out something that he was pointing out earlier. In that, you get to a point where you accept the fact about certain things that you're experiencing, and you realize, hey, wow, my tastes have changed. I used to really like this thing, now I'm not into it. And you're saying about like how like people evolve and things like that. I'm like, yes, you do, and you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You don't have to pigeon yourself into a position where it's like you're married to something for life, unless it's a person. Then you're married for life.
Mhm.
All other things can be out the window.
Yep.
Interests come and go, and you should really free yourself to understand that like you're not hell-bent on loving something. You don't have to, like he used the term gaslight, you don't have to die on that hill. You can sit there and be like, yeah, it's not a matter of whether it's good or whether it's bad. This is not for me.
Right.
You're kind of like neutral, like it's okay. It's okay not to be avid one way or the other. You have to love or hate a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can be right in the middle and just be like, hey, what is what it is.
That's a good point, man.
But the gaming movies that are coming out and the gaming TV shows, I'm glad that Hollywood is finally taking this stuff seriously.
Yes.
I mean, I gotta say, the first time anybody this movie was way ahead of its time, because it's the first movie that took video games seriously. Now, Tron took video games seriously, but it wasn't based on a video game. The first video game movie that took a video game seriously and gave us a good movie adaptation was Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
And that gave us.
Yep.
There's a line in that movie said, and now for a view of things to come.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny because that movie was a view of things to come, but it wouldn't come for another 25 years.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But here we are. It shows what can be done with proper writing, proper acting, and base it on a good video game. Base it on a good game. Like I'm happy that Comedy Central's picking up Golden Axe. They're going to do a Golden Axe series on Comedy Central. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. It sounds cool. It sounds different. What did I say earlier? Just do something different.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Different.
Absolutely. And Chad's adamant about that too, man. Like I said, a lot of people are in chat are saying that, these fandoms are for kids. The one, ones we grew up with, they're for kids too. I remember taking, my little cousin who was never introduced to the Sonic series, man, to see the Sonic 2 movie. And his eyes lit up, man. He was like, dude, I found something that I love now, man, that I want to get into more. And I'm like, yeah, this is for you, buddy. Yeah,
they're doing something right. Like what Smoke said too. He's like, hey, watching the Fallout TV show makes me want to go back and play the games.
Yep.
I'm sitting here like,
dude, again,
that's exactly what.
And that's what it is. That's a sentiment, right? Because I'll say I watched it as a friend. I always talk about like, oh, play the game before you watch the movie. I'm watching the series. I never played the Fallout series. Now I want to go back and play this. I say go back. I want to finally play the series for the first time in my life, which I'll probably do for sure. and understand it more, you know what I mean, through the video games viewpoint, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
series sold it to me already, you know, but now it's the video games turn to sell it to me even more.
Because even with Walking Dead, like the Walking Dead TV show made me want to read the comic.
Yeah.
And then I read the comic and I read it past the point where the TV show was. It made me want to continue. And with other comic book movies, they made me want to go back and read the comics. Or with a book that made me want to watch a movie, or vice versa. Like watching the movie Fight Club made me want to read the movie or the book Fight Club, right? Because I was like, oh, this is so great. So it's kind of putting the cart behind the horse. Now I know sometimes, like, we talk about like comic book fans, about fair weather fans, they only
Yeah.
watch the movies and they're
Yeah.
not true fans. I'm like, they're not true fans? Wait, I think they paid their
They're
money
pending.
to experience the same thing. Maybe
Yeah.
just because you didn't read it. I'm like, I think that if the movie is good enough, it make you want to go back and read like the Infinity Gauntlet and all the,
Mhm.
do that. Yeah, I mean, if it's good enough, go back and do that. But yeah, I don't think that I do agree with Smoke in one regard. I don't think that the comic book movies have all of a sudden just gotten bad. I just think they just probably need to stop making so damn many of them. Like for the longest time, we didn't have any. Like the Batman '89 movie came out, and then we waited, and there was Batman Returns, and then it was like a drought, And before that, you had like back in like the early '80s, you had the Superman movie. So like there was like nothing, and now all of a sudden it's like this massive concentration. I just think that just like
Well, I think
out a little
Marvel.
bit.
Well, Marvel's starting to learn, and so they're only putting out like the X-Men '97, What If, and I think they're only doing one movie, which is Deadpool, this year. And then next year, they're going to do Captain America and Captain America and New World Order.
Yep.
So they're learning. DC, they kind of already been spreading out. They kind of like, okay, we're revamping. We're going to learn from. We're going to lick our wounds. We got James Gunn coming in. He's reformatted. They're not putting out a DC movie until next year with Joker coming out, and we got to wait and see what happens. Again, my thing is when it comes to this stuff, it's like having a relationship. You either have a relationship and you stick in there, some people will stick in there. Other people will be like, okay, it was good for its time. I got to move on to the next thing. And like you said, with video games, getting back to video game movies, if it's done right, if it can, if adults and kids, because kids are automatically going to relate to it, but you want the adults to jump on board. Right now, you got the whole kaiju thing also with Godzilla. So, it could be a resurgence also, Pacific Rim coming back. So we got to wait and see. Like, look at Hellboy. When Hellboy came out, you had Hellboy 1, 2. And then when Hellboy was like, they were trying to put out a third Hellboy, but people were like, well, the last one didn't, people were getting kind of tired. Same with Blade. And now everybody wants to see Blade movie. So you have to pick and choose when to, like, if I'm going to put out a movie and I'm like, okay, if they're good, let's wait for a while to get people hyped for seeing a second or seeing a third one. I'm not like Dune. Dune kind of been doing it. First movie came out, they waited 2 years. They said, okay, we're going to see what happens, how people reacted. People wanted more. Okay, we're going to put out a second one. The second one did better than the first one. So now they're like, okay, when are they going to put out a third? So they're letting it breathe. Yeah. They're letting it breathe. Like Aliens, you got the new Aliens Romulans coming out. They put out one trailer. Everybody's like losing their crap over it. I can't wait. And I've been a huge Alien fan. I'm like, let it marinate. The same with Predator. They're putting out another Predator movie, but they're letting it.
And sometimes it comes down. It comes down to maybe, yes, you loved a franchise for what it used to be, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're still going to love it. Look, I mean, we've seen Indiana Jones movies fail miserably.
Yeah.
Yes.
We saw Star Trek movies waver. We saw like everybody wanted more Star Wars stuff, and then we got three prequels, and people didn't like those. And then fast forward another couple of years, and we got 3 more sequels, and people didn't like those. So it's like, look, we're living in the age of everything's a freaking remake. Oh God, some of them are better than others. Like, okay, for every like Roadhouse update that you get something else that maybe doesn't, excite you quite as much. So it's very much about personalized taste and everything. But understand, there's a big risk in continuing things for too long. Sometimes you can lose your ass. And there have been video game franchises that have done the same thing. I mean, like, I'd say it, but the last Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat 1, it's like what? Like, aren't there like 25 Mortal Kombat games? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and finally people are kind of like, okay, like enough. Like, maybe I'm just
Bring
done
back
with this at this
Injustice,
point.
like a new Injustice game. Everybody wants to
That
see
would be the
it.
way.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah,
could
everybody's
see
been talking
that.
about
But
that.
yeah.
You know,
but there have been people like I'm part of this group on Facebook right now, and it's amazing to me because I hear them saying that they really don't like Tekken 8. And I'm sitting there like, really?
Why? Yeah.
Wow. I there's this really weird undercurrent of a lot of hardcore gamers that for some reason they don't like Tekken 8. And I don't know if it's because like maybe like it panders to like beginner gamers a little too much because they've changed some things. But there was that same thing with like Street Fighter 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people in the hardcore like fighting game circuit like really had a lot to say about them, and I can't say they're wrong. My experience is different. I really liked Mortal Kombat 1 for what it was, but I'm really high on Tekken 8. I think Tekken 8's amazing, and
Beautiful. Yeah.
all I can do is sit there and listen. I don't try to talk anyone out of their opinion about it. I
Yep.
just it's interesting to me because a lot of them are younger gamers too, so they don't, maybe they didn't really play like Tekken 1 or 2 or 3. Like maybe they just jumped in late, but I was kind of like, wow, it's interesting because to me it's like I've seen that game evolve and get better and better and better, so it's just different. I mean, everybody's got their opinion, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You're right.
you just got to go with it.
Yeah, but
But yeah,
listen, well, what an era that we live in now, man. With the rise of the hype of again video game adaptations, man. This
like
la-
Mark, I want to ask you something because
yeah,
I know you're trying to parlay into the next. I have a question. What if the Knuckles series that comes out sucks?
dude, and that's
Like,
what I'm
what
afraid
if,
of.
because it's something that you really
Yeah.
love. Like, for me, like if Final Fantasy Rebirth came out, a remake came out, and it was horrible, my soul would have been crushed. But I would have been honest enough with myself to be like, yeah, it's not good. It's not
So
good.
yeah,
What
so
would you, what would happen if like the Knuckles series comes out and it's just dumb and it's dry and it's pointless and it's weird?
well,
Like,
see,
what would you do?
that's the funny thing is, Civ, is that when they put the what's that word the concept of the series out, right, whereas is Knuckles is teaching the second rate cop Wade how to be a Echidna warrior. When they put that out, I was like, oh man, I was like,
Yeah.
they could have did so many other things besides Knuckles teaching. You know what I'm saying? It could have focused on the games and all that too. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, my mindset is it's going to connect with 3 somehow. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have an open mind to it. It may suck, it may, but again, my hype is still alive because it's my fandom, it's my passion. You know what I'm saying? But it may suck at the end for sure. But I'm going to take it in like, you know what? Okay, they try their best. You know what I'm saying? It's going to, like I said, it's going to connect to the franchise. It's going to connect to the movie somehow. And I want to see how it goes. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a toss up. With every series, with every movie, it's always a toss up for sure. You know what I mean? Like I said, you cannot have remember, this is going back to, and I'm gonna keep this brief, but this is going back to, like I said, the era of Endgame. You know what I'm saying? Endgame and the movies in the past. There was a couple Marvel movies that sucked. That was balls sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just horrible, dude.
Like
But
name one.
But yeah,
Like name just for reference, name one. Like I'm
freaking
just curious.
oh my god,
Eternals.
Eternals. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was down that hill, but Captain Marvel sucked. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. I was down that hill. I was down the hill alone. I'm sorry, Chad, if y'all love Captain Marvel, but let's say like, it sucked, but it's still connected to Endgame in a way that got us all hype. You know what I'm saying? And so I would look at the same way. It's like, yeah, Knuckles series may suck. They might pull out more series from Sonic franchise that's going to be like a side off series and all that too for the movies. It may suck, but it's going to connect it somehow. You know what I mean? To a bigger Endgame for that video game franchise adaptation. And I'm like, you know what? I'm along for the ride. Whether it sucks, whether it's good, whether everyone will say like, oh man, but you know what? I watched it. Now I got that. Now I got that canonical. I can't say that word. Canon story, canonical storyline in my head that's going to carry me through the series. Just got to go with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a toss up for us fans, man. It's a really toss up. But again, we live
I
in
respect the honesty.
Yeah.
I respect the honesty and I respect Smoke's honesty because I would say, as avid as we are about anything that we're passionate about, none of us are fanboys. Like, I wouldn't defend something, and I don't think any of us would. We wouldn't defend something that was poo-poo. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't feel so obliged that I had to like put blinders on and be like, no way, man, like this is the greatest thing ever.
Hmm.
No, you got to be honest. If you
Yeah.
can't be honest, at the top of the hour, you introduced PTC as a show that's all about like honesty and just, yeah.
Yeah, Smoke
I
put that
mean,
out. Yep. Hmm.
I think it's something that if you can't do that, what else is there for you? What
Exactly.
else can you represent that you're going to have people say they're going to buy into what it is that you're saying? It's you lose all your credibility and culpability. So
Exactly.
I'd rather err on the side of being too critical than not critical enough. And I don't mean being an asshole about it. I just mean like Helldivers. Smoke pointed out, he's like, yo, you bailed on that game. Like, you were playing it, it was fun, and then it kind of got crappy. And I'm like, yes, I had to. And it wasn't take my ball and go home. It was, I'm going to have to wait this out. Because right now, this is not up to my minimal degree of, qualitative expectation. If I can't play the game, if I
Right.
literally can't play it, I can't play
I'm not
it.
gonna play it. Yeah.
So I'd be lying to myself and everybody else if I said, "Oh yeah, there's no problems here. Everything is fine. Everything is
Yeah.
fine."
Right.
No,
Right.
it's not fine. It was addressed. So I'd rather us all be, err on the side of being a little bit too critical, and being more realistic than just being like, fanboy out and say, "Oh, everything is super great now. No problems here."
Yeah. Absolutely,
Like in the
man.
room of everything on fire, and you're like, everything is normal.
Yeah, that meme.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
So yeah, but yeah, like I said, we living in a great time where, like I said, the video game franchise is kind of fixing itself, man. Adaptation is fixing itself and is making the curse is lifted, as a lot of fans have said. And of course, the last point, the adaptation of Minecraft will be on screens next year, while a live action film based on the Legend of Zelda franchise is in development. And Margot Robbie is reportedly working on the Sims movie, so that is coming up next as well too for us video game nerds as well. So this is going to lead us into our game that we're going to play. So I'm going to play a game with Civ and Smoke and Chad. If you want to play as well too, it's a game pretty much that it's a test your knowledge. Now I don't have that expansive video game knowledge like Smoke and Civ does, right? So I feel like they are perfect for this game, and we're probably gonna play this. We're gonna see how this game goes, and then we're probably gonna play this with celebrities, or guests on the show, down the future as well too. But we have a repertoire of games that we're gonna put in our pocket to play. So this game is called Timeline. Pending title, man. It's called like Timeline Travel. Time travel. Let's put it that way. Time travel. Let's make it time travel. There we go. What this game is all about is I'm gonna give these contestants, Smoke and Civ, a franchise, a specific franchise, right?
Okay.
With 4 games from that franchise. You got to tell me in order when those games were released, in order. So let's say I was talking
You're talking
about
here.
yeah, like I said, you can guess the game. You don't have to give me the year, but guess the game that came out first and then came out afterwards and afterwards, right? So let's say I say like Mass Effect. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say, if I say Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, you're gonna say Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? Like Mass Effect 1 came first, Mass Effect 2 came second, and Mass Effect 3 obviously came third. You know what I'm saying? According to the year.
If you said like Contra, it could be like Contra Super C Alien War.
See? Now
Right?
you're
Okay,
getting it.
okay.
Now you're getting it.
Okay.
For instance, it's so funny how you said that.
Did I just burn you?
You
Did I
just burned me.
your example?
You just burned me because now let's start with this. I'm gonna give you the series, and Chad, you can play along as well too. The series is Contra, right? The franchise is Contra. Now here's the 4 games. I'm gonna say the 4 games, and you got to give me in order that what came first, and then the recent one. Okay. So here's the 4 games. Contra Shattered Soldiers. The second Contra is Operation C. The third one is Contra Rebirth. And the fourth one is Contra Legacy of War. So that's the 4 Contra games. Contra Shattered Soldiers, Operation C, Contra Rebirth, and Contra Legacy of War. Who wants to take a crack at it, man? Which one came
I'll let
first?
you go, Civ. I'll let you take this one, Civ.
All right, Operation C was first. Then Shattered Soldiers. All right, Rebirth, and then what was the other one? Hardcore. No,
Legacy
what was
of
the last
War.
one?
Legacy of War.
Legacy of War. I think was the last one. I'm gonna go with that. Lock me in. Don't ask me
Lock
to
you
repeat
in?
it.
Smoke.
I forget what I said.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got you locked in. So Smoke, what you got, man?
Give me the categories again.
Contra Shattered Soldier,
Right.
Operation C, Contra Rebirth, and Contra Legacy of War.
Contra Legacy of War.
Okay.
What was the other one? Man, when you say this,
You got Contra Rebirth,
Okay.
Operation C,
Contra Rebirth is third. Contra C.
and
And
then
then-
Shattered Soldiers as well too.
Right. Well, Shadow Soldiers first.
Right.
Contra C second. The third one was, I just said it.
Legacy of War.
Legacy of War. Let me go for the God darn. Legacy of War first.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
What were the other three after I said Legacy of War? What
So
were the
so
other-
remember, so one is Contra Shattered Soldiers.
okay.
The second game
So
is
Legacy of War.
Uh-huh.
Shattered Soldiers.
Rebirth.
Rebirth is the third, and the fourth is what was it? Legendary.
Legacy of War. So you got Legacy of War, Rebirth, Operation C, and Shattered Soldier.
Oh,
So
God.
just, I think we're all guessing at this point. So what's the?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I love, man. I don't
Playing
know
with my emotions.
Because I think I swapped two. Of my
So in order is Operation C that came out in 1991 for the Game Boy. Then Contra Legacy of War 1996 came out for the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Third is Contra Shattered Soldiers, which came out 2002 for the PS2. And then last but not least is Contra Rebirth that came out 2009, and that was a Wii download game. There you go. So that was that. All right, I'm gonna give you a franchise that's close to both of y'all. I love y'all so much. I'm gonna give y'all a franchise. This actually the next two franchises. The next two franchises. Actually, the next two franchises. No. No, the next two franchises is gonna be close to y'all. Okay.
I know why.
This franchise right here is, and chat, you can play along too. Metal Gear.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
Here are the 4 games that you got to, again, came out the earliest to latest, man, to of course coming close to our time, right? The 4 games are Metal Gear Solid Touch. Then there's Metal Gear Ghost Babel. There's also Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge. And the last one is Metal Gear Acid. So again, think about it, guys. Think about it, guys. Think about it. Metal Gear Solid Touch.
Jeez.
Metal Gear Ghost Babel.
I gotta write these down. I'm not Googling or anything.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You got to do that. I expect y'all to. I expect y'all to do that. I expect y'all to do that.
Babel. What was it? Touch and what was that?
Touch and Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge.
Okay.
Oh,
Metal Gear 2 Snakes. Okay, got it.
Snake's
Okay,
Revenge.
I got this.
So chat, if you're watching and play along, the series is Metal Gear. The 4 games is Metal Gear Solid Touch. Then it's Metal Gear Ghost Babel. Then it's Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge. And then last but not least, Metal Gear Acid. All right.
okay. And we're going from,
Y'all going from the earliest, like back in Jesus' day, to now.
all right. So, you want to do this or you want me to do first?
Go ahead. We'll swap back and forth.
All right.
You go ahead.
All right, Snake's Revenge for the first one.
Okay.
Ghost Babel second.
Okay.
Acid third, and Touch fourth.
Are you locked in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Civ, how about you?
Snake's Revenge was first. Acid was second. Babel was third, and Touch was fourth.
All right. The correct answer. Smoke actually got the correct answer in the timeline. It was
Wow.
Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge came out in 1990 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. I'm sorry, Metal Gear Ghost Babel came out April 27, 2000 for Game Boy Color. Then you have Metal Gear. Then you have Metal Gear
I
Acid.
switched them.
Yep, Metal Gear Acid came out December 16, 2004 for the PSP. And then last but not least, Metal Gear Solid Touch came out for March 18th, 2009 for the iOS.
I knew Babel and Acid were on opposing handhelds.
Yep.
But I swore they were flipped. I
Yeah.
screwed that one up. Good job, man.
So
Good
Smoke got
job,
that on
Smoke.
point. Good job, Smoke.
That was nice.
All right,
That was
here's the final one. I'm so mad I did three. I did three franchises, but like I said, we'll play this again another day. But here's our final franchise. The final franchise, which is close to y'all, is God of War.
Oh, okay, go for it.
All right, y'all got your pen and paper ready, man, to write
Yeah.
these God of War games down, man.
Okay.
All right, here's the 4 God of War games. The first one is God of War, Ghost of Sparta. Then is God of War, Betrayal. Next is God of War, Ascension. Last but not least is God of War, Chains of Olympus. All right, so you got God of War, Ghost of Sparta, God of War, Betrayal, God of War, Ascension, and then last but not least, God of War, Chains of Olympus. Who wants to start?
All right, I'll start. And I'm gonna be mad if I don't get this because, like, literally, it was
I was
only
gonna
a few
gonna
years ago.
start myself, but go ahead, brother.
We just go back and forth because.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I know Betrayal is number 4. No, yes, yeah, Betrayal's 4.
Yep.
You talk about the latest, right? The latest to our time, right?
Yes,
Now, right? Okay.
Betrayal was the most recent. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
Ghost of Sparta, I think, was. See, I know I'm gonna. If I mess this one up, I'm gonna. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Ghost of Sparta was first. Chains of Olympus was second. Ascension, or Ascension, as I thought, was third, and fourth was Betrayal.
I agree.
Be so mad if I.
Y'all
yeah,
both,
I think-
I agree.
y'all both lock those same answers down?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
agree.
certain.
You will be surprised to know that both y'all are incorrect.
All right, let me ask you something. All right, now I think I know the only one I could have messed up would be like was Ascension number 2.
Here's the earliest one. Y'all gonna be so pissed. The earliest
Chains of
was
Olympus?
God of War, Betrayal, 2007 mobile. It was a mobile.
I knew it was mobile, but I
Before-
didn't think it was that.
2007. Yep, 2007
See,
mobile.
but see, that's
old. I never played it anyway. I just
Yeah.
Like
I
touch.
thought it was
It's just
more
like
recent.
touch. It's just like Metal Gear Touch. You know, you haven't played it, but to me, because I think of the handheld,
Yeah.
and all that, with Ascension, like you got Chains of Olympus and all, because we're so commonly used to playing that. So
Yeah.
Betrayal, you would not think of.
You wouldn't think. You're right.
No.
You're right.
Wow.
So
'Cause I
that's
was like, yeah, Betrayal has got. It's not the first one, and I'm like, there's no way.
yeah, yep. So Betrayal came out 2007 on
Wow.
mobile. Next after that was 2008 for the PlayStation Portable was Chains of
Yep.
Olympus.
I got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
2010 also on PlayStation Portable was Ghost of Sparta. And then last but not least for the PlayStation 3 coming out 2013 was Ascension.
Yep.
And that is the that was the God of War franchise, man. Hey, listen, good job, yo. Listen, there you go. That was the game called Time Travel. We will be playing that for future episodes of Pass Controller with some special guests as well
That
too.
was tough.
You know, that was tough. Yeah, you gotta have a really good mind as far as it's not just, you know, Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3. Now there might be some quirky games and titles in there as well too that we're gonna throw in for franchises as well. So listen, a good job to Smoke for conquering Metal Gear's timeline as
Yeah,
well,
it was
man. So
good.
that was pretty good, man. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for our show. Hope you all enjoyed that whole show of Pass Controller. Listen, of course, before we go, make sure we're going to make a couple announcements as well, too. Like I said, we're going to be at Idealisticon soon in May. So make sure you go to the Instagram page, Idealisticon. We're going to be showing our faces there, man. We're probably going to do a panel. We're probably going to have a table. Who knows? But we're going to be there at Idealisticon. So make sure you tune in. Check their Instagram page as well, too. And the Eventbrite page, the link is right there in their Instagram, as well as Too Many Games that's coming out the end of June. Tickets are on sale right now, toomanygames.com. Make sure you get your tickets right then and there. We're going to be doing it big this year for Too Many Games, man, so make sure that we see you there. Also for Endgame credits, of course, you already know that you got to share this stream to all of your friends in the gaming community so that they won't miss any of this info that we share today. Don't forget to follow our other social media outlets like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, PTC Gaming Show. Send us questions at our email address, ptcgamingshow@gmail.com. And more importantly, we have a game community just for you called PTC Nation. You can search on Facebook, PTC Nation, and it will pop up as well too. We are going strong, a couple thousand people sharing a lot of stuff It's going crazy in PTC Nation right now. PTC Nation, you can share your own gaming news, memes, question us to answer on our next show, gaming polls and videos. Share your Twitch channel, your YouTube, Facebook gaming page. Post your Xbox gamer tag, PSN IDs, Nintendo friend codes, PC Steam names. PTC Nation is all for you to connect with one another so that we can all pass the controller together. I see. That's why I had the freaking script all over Smoke's face. I know he's gonna copy that. Listen, this is so much fun, man. Listen, we're gonna see y'all in the next episode of Pass Controller. Smoke was we all gonna be probably playing some Helldivers tonight after I get some to eat, some good
Yes,
snacks. Yeah, so always and make sure that if you miss anything from this episode, once the episode drops, rewind the episode and rewatch from the beginning, especially the games we played, man. Seriously, because a couple games we played that are really good that you got to check out as well too. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, for Smoke, for Civic, I am McNux. This has been Pass the Controller, and as always, people, get good.
Peace and hair, Michelle.
Bye.